Hello and welcome to this conversation on inspiring hope. As PwC, our purpose is to build trust in society and solve important problems. And so we're always looking to partner with people and individuals that are of like mind, that are looking to make a difference in whatever way that they can in our society. And so a few years ago, when we were approached by Helen Leale-Green and Al Moon, selling to us a concept of helping to empower underprivileged yet talented school leavers to give them an opportunity and a platform to grow, we jumped at the opportunity. And that partnership has grown in leaps and bounds. And today would like to shine a light on what Al Moon is doing here in Zambia, hopefully to inspire others to do the same, to bring on board more partners so that we can scale this program, and just to tell a good story of what is happening. But before I get a bit ahead of myself, allow me to introduce to you Helen Leale-Green. Hi, Helen. How are you?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you very much for coming to be with us here.
And thank you for setting up this opportunity for us.
It's absolutely a pleasure on our part and something that I've been looking forward to for a while. So maybe before we get into what Al Moon is, what it's all about, what it does and what you're trying to do, maybe a bit about yourself, Helen. Who is Helen Leale-Green?
So I'm from the UK. I was born there. I'm actually a PwC alum, so I worked for PwC in management consultancy for 15 years.
Okay.
Before I decided that I wanted to spread my wings and do something different.
Yeah.
And then while I was still there, I started doing some volunteering for different organisations and stumbled across an organisation in the UK that brought students from Zambia and other developing countries to the UK to study. And my role when I was there was helping students to get to university.
Okay.
One of my students was a Zambian, Justin, and he invited me to Zambia and just said we could together make more impact.
Okay.
Him with his lived experience, me with my experiences, knowledge, contacts, and that's how.
And when was this?
The first time I came was in 2015.
2015, you come to Zambia.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit more about Al Moon. What is it about? What are you trying to do?
So we work with very high achieving school leavers who come from very underprivileged backgrounds in Zambia. And we help them to become change makers. So we're trying to inspire them to become change makers in their communities, the country, and on the African continent. And we do this by offering them an 18-month program that develops their critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, and also helps them to apply to universities around the world so that with their education, they can come back and make those changes.
Okay. So you're looking for school leavers. So in Zambia, that would be grade 12,
Yeah.
high achieving, underprivileged backgrounds.
Yeah.
And how do you go about identifying who exactly? Because there are a lot of people who meet that criteria. So how do you narrow down on who exactly you're going to work with?
Yeah. So we start off by asking students to register their interest with us.
Yeah.
And during that registration of interest, they have to give their school grades, and they have to sign to say that they come from a low-income background. But at that point, we don't do any checks.
Yeah.
And then we move, having got that information, we then set them various tasks and challenges. And that then takes the numbers down to a more reasonable level. We then invite a selection of those students based on how well they performed in their essays to our Moon site for 4 days to do our final selection.
And where's our Moon site? I think that's a good one.
So our Moon site is in the central province in Chibuye district.
Okay.
In a small village called Mula Chipansha.
Okay.
I think I pronounced it correctly.
Yeah. 100 marks for that one.
Thank you. And we set up there because we were allowed to have some land there, and we feel it's very conducive for students from around the country to come and to get away from their home environments and to be able to really relax into their study.
So you take them out into Chibuye district, away from the hustle and bustle of the city.
Yeah.
And then what happens when they're there?
We transform them.
Yeah.
So we start off working with them on some basic skills, especially critical reading, writing and presentation skills. So that forms a large part of the first part of the programme, and developing their IT skills. So although the students will have done 2 years of IT in school, last year's cohort, for instance, none of them had ever touched a computer. So we take them from very basic IT skills and get them used to using a computer quite quickly. Most of them will have used a smartphone. We've only had one student who hadn't used a smartphone. So they've got some knowledge of computers, even though it's a different type of device. Yeah. But yes, it's getting those skills up and running. We also set them the task of writing a 4,000-word research essay. So it's an academic paper, it's fully referenced, they learn about plagiarism, how to cite, and they write it on a world issue that they see through a Zambian lens. And I work with them to help them to come up with an area that I think that they're in, that we decide they're interested in, which is often related to what they might go on and study at university.
Later on, yeah.
And that they're given mentors from an international school in Switzerland on one-to-one mentorship, and they work with them on their research essays.
Okay. So they come out of you put them basically in a melting pot, and you stir them and shake them and grow them in this period. You're assessing them, I imagine, as you go through that. They come out of this, and then what?
So then the next stage is moving on to university applications. And so we guide the university applications. We look at what are they really passionate about, which is often what they focus their essay on. But sometimes they've done their essays and they think, I didn't really enjoy this area at all. So it depends, but mostly it'll be around what they studied or did their research on. So we then think about which universities can they apply to, where they would be able to study those sorts of subjects, and what sort of problems would they be able to solve with the knowledge that they'll gain from those degrees. So I don't think, I like them not to think about what they want to be when they finished, but rather what problems they want to solve, what they see themselves doing.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe then tell us this: they come out of this program making applications, obviously, to universities. What role do you play? What role have you played? Because the universities they're applying to, we've already said they're coming from underprivileged background. Yeah. They're now applying to university. I mean, how are they expected to fund their university education? I mean, what role have you played there?
So in terms of funding their education, we don't fund their education. Yeah. We're looking to universities where we know they can offer full scholarships or full financial aid. And we work with the students on their applications in a lot of detail. So we really guide the students through each essay they have to write. We help to edit their essays in terms of grammar and punctuation, make sure that their essays are really, really good. The whole application needs to hold together. So we take an overview of the application. I then advocate to the universities on the students' behalf. And I also get the students to write to the university admissions officers and say, we've submitted an application, this is about me, and try and develop some sort of relationship with the university admissions officers.
Yeah. So nothing's guaranteed. No. You go through this process. And how many Zambian students have you had come through your program so far?
So far, about 50 through that main program. And then we've had a few others, about 10 others that we've helped get to master's level programs. Okay. much lighter touch
support. Okay.
and support.
Yeah.
And we've unlocked scholarships worth worth £7.4 million.
£7.4 million.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And this is for the 50 students for them to go and further their education. Yeah. And what sort of impact has that had on individuals who are coming from backgrounds where it seems there's no hope to go from there to going to study in some of the world's best universities, getting the highest level of education with no cost on their part?
It's a huge impact. Sorry. I've even just the smallest things, just getting used to being in a foreign country and being able to hold their own against people that they feel have had a better education than them is a big inspiration for them. They go on and do internships both in the country of study but also back here. But I think it's the small stories. So one of our students, for instance, even at the end of his first year, where he was studying at Cornell University in the US, he won the Davis Project for Peace Prize, and he won $10,000 to be able to spend on building a primary school's computer lab and library, which he came back to Zambia to do. He's built that. He worked out how to get some second-hand computers to the school, and he's trained up some of the teachers as well so that they know how to do it. And his whole motivation was that when he got abroad, he realised how lagging behind Zambia is by not giving access to computers to young children as early as possible.
Wow. And maybe now if we turn the focus of the conversation to maybe you describing what's the partnership with PwC? What's that like, PwC and other partners? I know PwC is not the only one, but what does that look like and why is it important in the process?
Yeah, so after they've done most of their university applications, the students then have 6 months that they're waiting to hear responses and where we could give them projects or something to do. And the idea of doing the internship came up because one of the things that stops our students or any student studying abroad from returning is that fear of the unknown, of coming back. So all our students come from homes, nearly all our students come from homes where the parents work informally. So the only professions they've seen are probably doctor, nurse and teachers. And that's the limit of their exposure. Coming into an organisation like PwC, they can see that there are professional organisations doing meaningful and decent work. And I think that's really important for their confidence in knowing that if they come back, they will find those organisations here.
And I should know this, but you probably know it better than I. We've had a program for a number of years. How many have we put through so far here at PwC?
I think it's 10. 10. So it's including the 2 that are here
currently. Yeah. And how are they doing? The ones that have gone on afterwards? I mean, what do they report back?
So Andrew is the student that won the Davis for Project Peace Prize. He is one of the very first students who came here. Lute was also one of the first students. She's studying in India, and she's studying computer science with a minor in visual arts.
Wow!
And she's managed to gain work outside of her degree to help to build websites and to do various things. She graduates next year, and she's hoping to develop the computer science side. We also connected her with Bongo Hive, so she's got that strong connection back to Zambia to do something that follows her line of study. Other students, Rachel came and interned instead of in advisory. She came and interned in human capital.
Human capital, yes, I remember.
And she's hoping to pursue a career in that area. She's studying psychology, but realised once she started studying psychology that she's very interested in the sort of human resource side of corporates. So the experience she had here was really fundamental to her being able to make those decisions.
Yeah, that's just fantastic. And I mean, I can say categorically that we've had a fantastic experience with all of the interns that have come through. Sometimes you actually forget that these guys they haven't actually been through university because of how much they apply themselves on an ongoing basis. And what plans do you have going forward for this program? What are you looking to do in terms of your goals and ambitions?
So we've been a very small program, and this year we've doubled the number of students we've taken onto the program, which also means we need to double the number of internships with them. So that's one of the ways we're expanding. We're also hoping to do a lighter touch program for students that maybe still come from disadvantaged homes, but have maybe been to slightly better schools and have more tools available to them to be able to navigate the processes a bit better on their own with just a little bit of guidance from us.
Right.
And over the next year or so, we'll launch more formally our master's support, and we're looking into how we can deliver that.
Mm-hmm. So definitely there's no shortage of demand in terms of students coming through. So we need to be clear about that.
Yeah.
As they go through the process, you're obviously looking to expand. That expansion comes with additional requirements and needs. That includes opportunities for the increased number of students. And I guess that's the reason why we're having this conversation, is to shine a light on this. I mean, as PwC, we're quite keen to support and continue supporting, but I'm quite happy to let others know and vouch for this program. It's something that all of us need to consider, especially because of how significant the impact is. I think it's a simply amazing and fantastic story, to be honest.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you'd like someone who, I mean, people who are watching this, something you'd like them to know about our moon, about yourselves, how they can partner? We'll add your contact details to this as well, so that people can reach out. I mean, they can reach out to me as well, and us at PwC, and we're happy to connect them. But anything else that you'd like to highlight or tell the people out there?
I think really it's, as you say, these students are very, very motivated to create change. They're not just they're not just looking at one thing, but they want to help to develop the country and to help to develop their communities. And they've got different areas of interest. So we're really looking for opportunities where students maybe studying environmental science could get involved, maybe with one of the mines or an environmental program. We've got some students who intern at NGOs who are working more in development, in women's empowerment. So there's lots of different areas our students are interested in. It's been really good for students to have the experience of coming into one of the professional services companies, because they see different aspects of companies. So even our environmental scientist, Stephen, he's been interested in seeing how the audit can work there. So even just more internships within professional services would be good. But I think there are all these other areas as well that other areas could benefit from. Right. And I have no hesitation in recommending my students either. They're all very positive and come well prepared and won't let you down.
Absolutely. Simply fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Helen. I found this story extremely insightful and inspiring as well. Thank you. And it's something that I think we will continue to support, that we can guarantee. I'm not sure if we can have enough great talent anyway. And it's something that is important for the country, for themselves, for their communities, their societies. I mean, imagine the sort of impact that such stories have for that community who's able to point and say, this is one of us who has become something.
Yeah.
I think the benefits are just tremendous. So thank you very much. And on behalf of Zambia, thank you for what you're doing. I mean, you could be in so many different places, but you're here.
Yeah.
I think it's not something to be taken lightly. Personally, I'm very excited about what the future prospects are, especially with some of the guys that we've had here and otherwise, and just wishing everyone and yourself all the best as you continue with this tremendous work.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Precious Nyirenda, and I was born in Dola and later moved to Kitwe. I was raised by a single mother, and because of her struggles, it's what opted me to focus more on academics. And once I completed secondary school, I was a bit worried about which university I would go to and how my mom would fund my education. And so that's when I stumbled across our own Young Leaders Program. And from there, I applied and was accepted.
My name is Steven Smonza. I was born in the northern province of Zambia, but raised in Copperbelt. My parents had to move due to some challenges, financial challenges. So we moved to Copperbelt in her hope of bettering our lives. Yes. I got into Amon when I graduated from my secondary school. That was in 2022. That's when I was selected by Amon.
My experience at PwC has been quite well. I was very interested in politics and governance and also civic education when I was at secondary school. So Amon gave me a chance to discover if that's a field I want to go into by helping me or having me intern at PwC to get more knowledge about the corporate world and about the career I want to take.
PwC is really helping me to enhance my skills. By skills, I mean skills like analytical skills, creativeness, and critical thinking. So when I was at Amun empowered me with these skills. But here at PwC, I'm taking these skills into practice, which is making them now to become tangible skills. Yeah, so for example, analytical skills are very important for my field since I want to study environmental science. It will require me to do a lot of research for me to create that positive change of combating climate change. So those analytical skills will help me to do my research essays and also to analyze the data I'll be working on.
The problem I want to solve is corruption. And I'm keen on eradicating corruption because it has affected the country negatively. And my experience here at PwC has given me more insights on how audit takes place and how I'll potentially end the problem in future.
So my aim is to save humanity. And when I was growing up, my only goal was to become a surgeon. But when I went to our moon, I came to realize that I can save, instead of saving that one life in the hospital, I can save 1,000 by being part of the colossal fight of the climate change, which has claimed about 2 million lives in 5 decades, according to the statistics of the World Bank. Yes. So in that regard, I also decided to do a research essay to see how the climate change has impacted us as Zambia, specifically smallholder farmers in Zambia.
Well, what I would tell the students is that it's all growth takes place in the mind, and it's all about willingness and determination. If you're determined to be someone, no matter the state, nothing can no obstacle can come in your way or anything like that. There's always a way for you to become that person you want to be.
The advice I can give to the students out there who are coming from disadvantaged families that just always keep motivated. Just always keep in mind that the future is better if you work hard. And one important thing that I got from our moon is aligning yourself with the universal. So we have a lot of universals like family, school, even work. Work is also our universal. So if you align yourself, your individual objectives with the universal, then it will be easier for you to achieve your goals, because all your efforts will be targeted to aligning yourself with universal, and eventually you come to achieve your goals. Thanks to our moon, it has made my dreams of pursuing higher education a tangible reality. Have been accepted to Northwestern in the United States. I'll be studying environmental science, which the scholarship award amounted to about $400,000.